So, as I might have said before, the Quran has 114 surahs or sections, right? Each of which is composed of verses. If you add all surah numbers to their corresponding verse amount of verses, so for example, Surah 1 has 7 verses. 1 plus 7 is 8. Surah 2, alright, that should be good. Surah 2 has 286 verses, so our total is 288. Surah 3 has 200 verses, so our total is 203. So with these calculations, right, so 1 is 8, 2 is 288, 3 is 203, right? You get exactly 57 even totals, and you get exactly 57 odd totals, right? So what happens when you add all of these totals together, right? So if you add 1 plus 7 is 8, 2 plus 286 is 288. Surah 114 down here I know has 6 verses, so the total is 120. If you add the totals of these 57 calculations all together, you get 6,236. Now, you might have caught this number earlier. Ink's running low. You might have caught this number earlier because 6,236 is also the number of verses in the whole Quran, right? And if you add our 57 odd totals, right? So 3 to 203, Surah 108 has 3 verses, that's 111. If you add these 57 calculations totals, you get 6,555. 6,555 is the total if you added all the numbers of the surahs together. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, all the way up to 114. If you added all of those together, this is what you would get, 655. And it's also the total of these 57 calculations of the odd total surahs, right? So if you were to remove or add a verse anywhere, or if you were to remove or add a surah anywhere in this chart, this entire system would fall apart. So let's just take Surah 1. Surah 1 is small, right? So it has 8 verses. Let's say Surah 1 now has 9 verses, right? So the first thing that would happen is it would no longer be even. So it would be over here, and we would go from having 57 even, 57 odd to 56 even and 58 odd. So our even odd balance falls apart. The total number of verses would become 6,237. And the total of these 56 even calculations would be subtracted by 9. So the total would be 6,228. So it just wouldn't match anymore. And of course, the total of the all the surahs combining would still be 655. However, you've added 9 to this side of the board. So 6,555 plus 9 is 6,564, even though the total between all the surahs combining is 6,555. And of course, if you added or subtracted a single surah, it would also mess up the 655 and then switch over. Everything would break. By adding even one verse or subtracting one verse anywhere in this chart, or adding or subtracting one surah anywhere in this chart. I just added one verse. Every single part of this mathematical balance collapsed immediately. So if our Quran was off by even one aspect of this, the whole thing would fall apart. Now I'm asking you, were people who could not read or write, except for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 out of thousands, in the middle of Arabia in the 600s, did they come up with this? And I also ask you, can you find any other religious text that looks like this? You cannot. So this is, to me, this is already clear divine intervention.